Hi, and welcome to Diary of a Way Show podcast, episode 12, I think. And good morning. I'm going to say good morning. Could be good evening, could be good afternoon, but I'm recording this early in the morning, about 6 a.m. I tend to get up early nowadays, which is lovely. I try not to. I try to sort of align with um, the sort of normal light for this time of year. So I don't close my curtains or anything. So I tend to wake up early because it's got light. I like to do that in summer, and then when it fully goes dark, go to bed. Um, and just like be in alignment with the seasons, really. So I tend to wake up at this time, even earlier sometimes. Sometimes it can be 5:30 and I'm wide awake, and then I just get up and sit and relax and journal, and you can get a lot done, can't you, early in the morning? Um, Especially when I'm on my own, so it doesn't really matter, but when my children were smaller, uh, or, they were proper children and not adults, live with me, you could get a lot done in the morning while they were still in bed. Those were the days, or not the days, so to speak. So I wanted to talk today about stretching yourself, stepping out your comfort zone, doing something you've never done before, just for the heck of it, just because you want to try something new, you want to see what you're capable of. Because it's so easy to stay stuck in one zone of your genius, and uh, not really not really test yourself on how good you really are, or how capable you really are. Um, an example of that, I suppose, was last year when I had to drive across Spain. Uh, I knew I had to go to Spain, and I was in my car. I had to get on a ferry. Uh, that was a bit nerve-wracking, to say the least, to be honest. Driving onto a ferry, but actually it wasn't too bad. It was better than I thought it would be. But the thought of it, because I'd never done it before, driven a car onto a ferry and parked it, uh, and there's all that nervous apprehension, isn't there, before you do that, of uh, what are they going to get you to do, Um, and then parking the car, that was fine. Getting to the other side, going through the border control, and then uh, having to make my way across Spain, uh, opposite side of the road, um, and try and work out where I was going to places, and uh, sometimes having to drive through Madrid, which was a big city. All a bit nerve wracking, really, and really tested my resolve. But I did it. I did it because I had to do it. I had no choice. For those that haven't listened to the earlier episodes, I was being warned that I would have been in danger staying where I was, and I wanted to get out of the country. I just wanted to go as far away as I could. I could have, suppose, got on a plane, and gone on but everything I owned was in that car, basically, and I just wanted to take all of my stuff and then just go. So yeah, I did this trip across Spain, which was an adventure in itself. Um, and that really showed me how resilient I am, really. It proved to me how resilient I was. And I was talking to someone the other day, and we got on to driving abroad, and I said to him that I drove in my car across Spain last year, and he was just like, he listened to me, and then he said, "Wow, you're better than you think. To be able to do that on your own, and go right across and sort yourself out and get yourself from one point." to another. And then I said, yeah, and I drove across the Pyrenees as well when I was going from Spain to France because I went to Lourdes on my way back last year before I got the ferry back from, I think, Santander to the UK. I was drawn to go to Lourdes, so I had to go to Lourdes and I drove across the mountains bit. Uh, and that was probably one of the most beautiful experiences I've ever had in my life, and I still remember it now. And driving across, and there's lots of goats and sheep, and the mists, and oh, it was just very surreal and very beautiful. And I don't think I'll ever forget that driving across there and coming into Lourdes, one of my favourite places on earth. Um, and just like driving into Lourdes was beautiful. Coming in over the hills and driving down, it just was um, gorgeous. So, yeah, and I was out my comfort zone. I was out my comfort zone, but I did it, and then I realised I could do it, and that nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. Our brain tells us, always tries to protect us, doesn't it? Always tries to tell us not to try something, or that's impossible, or you can't do that, it'd be too difficult or uncomfortable. And I really just wanted to dedicate today's episode to that and to say to you, you can do anything um, you want. You can do anything you desire um, if you'll put the effort in to do it and actually go past that hesitation and that tendency to think that it would be too difficult or too hard to try. And no matter what age you're at, I'm coming up 60 in September. In fact, I think there's a solar eclipse on my 60th birthday. I don't know if that's ominous or not. Um, but there's an actual eclipse on my birthday this year, on my 60th birthday. And of course, I'll be celebrating it with family. Uh, but I actually, hopefully, planning to go to Paris, take myself on the Eurostar for a few days afterwards, just as a treat, on my own again, not going with anyone, taking myself again to another country on my own, and having a wander around and enjoying the sights and just doing something for me, even though there won't be anybody with me, which makes it a little bit more uncomfortable, but it's still good and I'll enjoy it. And that's what life's about, isn't it? Trying new things, trying different things, and expanding your experience and your wisdom. Um, I think it's very important that people um, make an effort to do that, or we become very stagnant and sort of we uh, don't stretch ourselves enough, if you know what I'm saying. And I've always been up for an adventure. That's in my personality, um, and I've had to go through times where I've had to just rely on me. So I suppose I've got that resilience and tenacity that I will get something done, uh, come rain or shine, if it's what I have set out to do. When I set out to do something, I normally get into a mindset of it will happen, uh, and I just have to keep trying till I get it done. Not, I'm not talking about forcing something to happen. I'm just something like you're creating a book or a course uh, or a project that I want to sort out. I will be tenacious and carry on um, until I get it done. Um, 9 times out of 10, hopefully. So yeah, that is one thing about me that I can be proud of, is that I can put my mind to something and then complete it. And it's such a lovely feeling when you actually complete something that you had uh, an idea on. So this is a message really for someone out there right now that is thinking of doing something and you you keep hesitating or you keep holding back and you don't actually get it started. And that's the hardest part, is getting it started. Um, Believing yourself in enough to take the action that you need to take. And the universe, it works with you, not against you. It works with you. And when you make a statement and take some action, then the universe knows you mean business. It takes you seriously, and then it does the work to complete that project with you. It will always match you and meet you in the middle. And as soon as you take action towards it in some positive way, then the universe goes to work, with that synchronicity to deliver that which you want to create, because you're a creator. From Mother, Father, God, and Source, we're all creators, and that's where we actually open up to the divine through our creative endeavours. And that's a little secret that they don't teach, that when you're in your creative self, you're in your creator self. So anything where you are using your natural talents and gifts. For me, I'm not a great drawer, artistic, but I can create grids, sacred geometry grids. I see an image in my mind. I go on, I only just use Canva at the minute, and I go and create that image. And, that is because I take action. I see the image and take action. It's very important you take action when you get an idea. And being creative, whether it's your writing or graphic design, or you're an artist, or you paint, or you're a good dancer, or you take dance lessons, or you've got a good voice, so you go to rock choir, or whatever it is, it's beautiful to use those gifts, because you were given those gifts for a reason, to use them. And that I always say, and I always feel in my heart, that those gifts are the key to your highest abundance and to your highest joy, bliss, and love for life, because they've been given to us by the divine. So, if you can imagine, can't you? If you're naturally gifted in certain areas, but you're not using those gifts, and you're stuck in a day job in an office and you hate it, you're gonna hate it. You're not using those gifts in service, because they have been given from the divine in service as well. Not to be subservient to others, but in how can I make the world a better place with the gifts and abilities I've got? How can I enrich the world? The world needs my contribution via those gifts. That's why you've got them. And I think that it's so easy, isn't it, to dumb ourselves down and to forget, especially if we've been on the rat run and we've been in normal, boring jobs, to forget that we have a whole set of gifts that we never even realised we had. I mean, I didn't realise I was good at writing. I didn't realise I could write books. I didn't realise I could public talk. And all of those things I didn't know. Not really. It was only when I left my last job ever, being employed by anyone, which was the NHS, in 2009, that I started to realise that I had these gifts that I didn't even know I had, not properly. And it was such a wonderful thing to go and discover them and to try them on for size. What can I do with this? I'm not saying it wasn't scary. It was. And I was pushed and pushed to start practicing, to start taking those gifts and using them. And you may be sat here now and there's a little voice in your head saying, "Who am I to do that?" Well, why wouldn't it be you if it's me? Um, that's the conditioning from our parents. That's the conditioning of your ancestors. I mean, my story is a bit complex in, what happened to me, but as a child and everything. But I do know, like, if I can remember what my mum, what she used to say, they were very, so boxed in. Um, would never believe that I was capable of writing a book or uh, da da da. Oh no, that's for other people that are more talented than us. We're just we have to be in servitude. We have to be quiet. We have to be in the background and do as we're told and have the normal jobs. It was that sort of energy very much from both sides of the family, really. From what I can remember, which is not a lot nowadays, to be honest with, knowing that some of these memories are false or have been false in the past. So I don't take much credence now on what happened to me or what memories I'm holding regarding family life, because it feels to me like I was hardly I was hardly in the country most of the time as a child. Um, so I didn't really have a tradition. Well, I had no traditional upbringing at all. Uh, it would have been the most unconventional upbringing, really. Even though the cover story it was a conventional upbringing, it wasn't at all. But yeah, I don't know. I just woke up with that feeling to talk about that because I always get this when someone needs to hear this. Someone's listening to me now who wants to start a project or wants to get writing or to really get into more of what they're being guided to do. And they are fighting it right now. Don't fight it, surrender to it. Surrender to it and do it. It's the most amazing thing in the world to have an idea and then make it happen. Oh my goodness, it's amazing. So do it, please do it. And if you don't know how to do it, ask for guidance and you will be given all that you need to make that happen. I know you will, I promise. You will. But just do it. You've got to do it. Um, it just is so amazing when you have got an idea and then you bring it into fruition and then you know you're capable of doing that. And the next time you do a similar project, you'll even be better at it than you were before. Because we never ever can get good at something unless we try it. Um, Me with the writing, I'd had many readings in the past, tarot readings and things like that. And they'd say to me, "Oh, you're going to write books." And I can remember one tarot reading where, um, when was that? That probably one of the last tarot readings I ever had. Um, and this was way back, where she looked at this like there was a floating shelf as such. She said, "I can see a whole shelf of books written with your name on." Uh, and I went, "Can you? Can you?" And I was like, oh, "No chance. What am I going to write about? I've no idea." That was pre, 2009. I had no idea I was going to wake up and then realise that I had spiritual wisdom and guidance to give, or that I could bring that down from my I am presence and monads and everything. I didn't know that. I had no idea. So she was right. She was spot on. She's true because, I've ended up writing 3 books, but I must admit, they're all ebooks. Well, no, the first one wasn't an ebook actually. That was a pretty rough book, really, in the fact that I didn't know what the hell I was doing. But I took that faith because I was pushed and pushed to do it. So I did it, and then I then wrote, I think, How to Be a Confident Intuitive Healer in 2017, and How to Be a Confident Spiritual Teacher in 2018. And I had planned to write How to Be a Confident Intuitive, but I never got round to writing that part of it. Things took over after that. That was actually when I went into fatigue, 2018, 2019, 2017, 2018. That's when I hit that road train really of um, adrenal fatigue and pernicious anemia, which was very much a side effect of the abuse and that secret of abuse that was running in my body, me not realizing I'd been abused, and then that coming out and developing into a physical illness, as it does when something is hidden or needs to be revealed, and there is inauthenticity, not from yourself, but in the fact that you don't know the real truth, but your body does, and it's screaming at you to listen. So even though I've got that under control, and that's fine now, but uh, that that was the last time I wrote a book. I've written courses with quite a lot of words, like 5,000 words and 10,000 words and 15,000, 20,000 words, but I've never put another book. I have started a book this year. I must admit, it's not been touched for a few weeks, as I've been really busy actually with my training courses and things. And putting my healer training back on as priority. And that was, that's the guidance I was receiving from my heart. And also, what do I love doing the most? Because there's many things I can do. And I love teaching about healing. So that, for me, is my heart just expands. And I'm so happy when I'm doing that, when I'm teaching. But I'm just helping people remember, really. I'm helping people remember. And I love that when people get light bulb moments, and or soaking it all up and loving it and getting their own downloads as they're listening to me. I love that. That's just makes it all worthwhile to me. So very much my academy now, my quantum plasma bridge, divine light technologies academy for healers, or Healers Academy, or I might even leave healers out. I really felt that needed to be prioritized, which I've done actually. But as a book, I need to get going with the book again, which I will do once I've got past the end of July, because I've got a retreat I'm running and I'm going to the Shine seminars. I will get that book back on. And I don't know, I'm trying to work out, there's two books here floating in front of me. There's two books. There's my story, totally, of what has happened so far. I've got that, and I've got a book about false light, and about the true teachings of ascension and the mechanics of ascension, but not in that way, but in an easy read. But I don't know. I think my story, that book might be better being written first for me. So I'm just thinking, contemplating which one it's going to be. It's so exciting now that I have a choice of what I can do. So I've just really got to work out which one I prefer, I think, really. So just a message really out there for, who you are, and you're fighting something, or you're not prioritizing it. Let's put it that way. It gets being put on the back burner all the time, and that's procrastination. Where you want to start something, but you keep putting it off. It's like if you have to write a letter that's not very nice, so you have to tell someone something that you don't want to tell them, you tend to put it off, don't you? Like, I'll do that tomorrow, and then I'll do it I'll do it the next day, and you just keep putting it off until a week's gone by and you haven't done it. That's human nature, isn't it? Always human nature, but it's really important to prioritize that, especially if it's something that you want to do, but you've got the anxiety about, will it work? Well, if it's heart led and divinely guided, you'll never know what's going to happen until you do it, and that would mean it would be successful because it's been given to you by your I am presence. It's been given by the divine, and the divine wants it to come into creation. That's how I always look at it, that I am I'm a channel and conduit for the divine, and that all of the divine gifts I've got come from source. Therefore, they are mine, but they're sources as well. So I have to deliver them. That's part of the deal. That's part of the deal. I have to deliver them for source, for Mother, Father, God, source. God, if you just want to call, I say Mother, Father, God because God, to me, the creator, the energy that made us and created us and birthed us and thought us up as such, is male and female, 50% male, 50% female. And so it's Mother, Father, God, I say. And that, I want to show them what I can do. I want to show them that I want to be that conduit for them. I want them to be able to work through me for the greater good. And that's a wonderful way of looking at it with any spiritual gifts or abilities, or any idea you've got that is really important to you in your heart, to know that it's God's plan too. Therefore, it needs to be enacted. It needs to be materialized and delivered in this realm. That's how I always see it, and that I'm helping to deliver that, which Mother, Father, God wants to be delivered here. So that's something that like drives me forwards and keeps me going when sometimes I come against difficult times, or times where what I'm trying to deliver is not quite going the way I would want it to. I sort of think to myself, well, come on, you're a conduit, let's do it, let's deliver it. And asking for assistance. There's nothing wrong with that. Asking for assistance. Can you send me the right people? Can you send me the right publisher? Can you send me the right title for the book? Everything that you need to deliver that. There's nothing wrong in asking for assistance to get it done. That's the beauty of working in alignment and in partnership with the divine. The divine does its bit if you'll do your bit. And it's a beautiful partnership. So I just wanted to give that message to someone out there, or all of you that are thinking of stepping out and really doing more. Do it. We need you. We need you with your talent. We need you to deliver your divine gifts, because that's how we get this world into a much better state and being. And my goodness, does it need that, as we know. And it's really important that we all do our own bit and we all do in different ways, I know, but I just wanted to talk about that because the frequencies and the energies are very intense, and it can be extremely sort of unsettling and disturbing when we look around and we see things crumbling, or things are getting much tighter, and we know what the agenda is, and we can see it being rolled out right in front of us. That can be quite, nerve-wracking. But hey, we're fine. We're fine. We are, we're the way showers. We're the ones shining our light. We're the ones standing in our truth and authenticity, using our voices, being beacons of light for others, knowing that everything's going to be okay. That if you are led by your heart, you are awake, you are being guided by your heart and the divine, then there is nothing to worry about. There is nothing. You will find your way. You will find, the answers will come, the guidance will come on if things get worse. You'll know what to do. You'll know where to be. You'll know who to spend time with and the people that you need to be around. You will just know, because the divine will guide you and lead you to be in the right place at the right time, or to be in a safe place. So I don't worry about that at all. I know that if things get tighter here, that's okay, because I'll be in the right place wherever I am, and I will listen for the guidance and be in the right space. And you've got to sort of have faith in that and know that if you are following your guidance, you taking action and doing what you feel is right, and nothing can go wrong. Nothing can derail you. We're safe. We're fine. I just wanted to say that, because I know a lot can be a little bit sort of shaken by things. Where any trouble would be, this is the raw truth. The only trouble there would be is if you're inauthentic and you are not in your truth. So if you are living a lie right now, or living in inauthenticity, what I mean by that is you're inauthentic to yourself. Not saying that you tell lies. I mean that you know that your heart's not in the relationship you're in right now, and you're treading water, and you think it's too difficult to make the change. That is being inauthentic to yourself and not true to yourself, and that's where you'll get tripped up. And I'm not, but I don't need to tell you to suck eggs, do it. You know what I'm saying. You will, that inauthenticity it gives you poor foundations. And the analogy I keep teaching when I'm in the academy and other, when I'm talking about building firm foundations for the ascension pathway, is we have to have really firm and solid foundations. We cannot build a bridge back to source on shaky foundations. So we have to be in solid and unshakable foundations of truth, authenticity, leading by your heart, and being in alignment with your heart. So, anything inauthentic which makes those foundations shaky is going to be thrown at you. It's going to be thrown at you to look at. Look at this. What are you going to do about it? I'm just and that has to happen. There's no way we can hack ascension. We can't hack ascension. We can't do any tricks to make it easier. We initiate ourselves. We initiate ourselves. We test ourselves to make sure that we are doing the things that we should be doing. We're not living a lie. We are raw and authentic, and that, we test ourselves. So anything that is inauthentic, anything which is not built on a true frequency, a truth frequency and vibration, will crumble and fall. It has to, in these frequencies and energies as you move forward. So you have to have your foundations absolutely correct, and looking at where you can change and tweak your life to make sure that you are in those firm foundations. That's what it's about. So, you know, it's I know it's not easy when you have to make a choice. You have to make a choice. God, do I know that feeling, as you know, when you have to make a choice that is so difficult that it's devastating to you, but you have to make it. Or you have to walk away from something because it's not serving you for your highest good anymore. Like I walked away from my job in 2009, and it was, it was good money, and I, as I say, could have gone on and on there. Saying that, I don't think I'd want to be working in a hospital right now, and especially, after what's happened last few years. My God, was I well out of it. So I'm so happy about that. But I had to leave at the time. I knew there was this deep, deep inner knowing that this wasn't for me anymore, and that actually it was pulling me down. It was pulling me down in energy, and I had to leave. I just had to go, and I'm so glad I did. It was meant to happen. I was meant to leave. It was destined that I would leave. It was destiny, because I had to go and follow my destiny. I had to go and follow who I was really, who I was supposed to be on this planet, instead of thinking I was just Joe Bloggs in an NHS district general hospital, doing an extended role job, and thinking that I'd spend the rest of my life working there till I retired. You know, that that wasn't going to happen, was it? I was destined for better things. I was destined for my true soul work and what I came here on this planet to do. And where is your destiny? Where is your destiny? Where are you supposed to be? What are you supposed to do? You might not know that. I didn't know that when I left. I didn't know what I was going to be. I didn't know what was coming. I just knew I had to leave. That inner knowing just pulling me towards an unknown future, but knowing it was my destiny. My unknown last year of leaving everything, and not knowing where my future lied at all, in any shape or form, or what would happen to me. Just knowing I had to do this. There was no choice in the fact that it had to happen. It was meant to happen. And actually, afterwards, getting a lovely message from someone who I trust, saying to me that actually you you just you had to leave your fated life, uh, and you were going for your destined life, the life that you came to live properly, the life that you had planned for yourself, uh, on a soul level, your destiny. You went to get your destiny and to go and find it. And I think that's a beautiful sort of um, thing now to think, yeah, I did. I had to walk away to find my destiny, and to create my destiny, which I'm doing now. Um, so sometimes things are very difficult and are harder before they get better. But I can say and vouch that I am the happiest I've been in a long time now, and I am living by myself, but loving having no boss or to answer to anybody. I'm just like, I can do what I want when I want. I can create as much as I want. Uh, I am building up with my training. It's getting busier. Um, I'm getting better abundant wise. Uh, I'm not out the woods yet, but I am um, better than I was a few months ago. Uh, and I can support myself, and that is a great thing. And knowing that I can create new projects and make new things and bring, hopefully, ease suffering and trauma to those that have been through SRA and mind control. I can bring those protocols, train other healers how to bring those protocols, uh, and to help ease the suffering of those that don't need to suffer like that. I think that's probably one of the uh, driving forces for me going forwards is that knowing that hopefully I can bring the healing of this to a whole new level. That's what I want. That's, I feel, my legacy. So hopefully in the next few years I can build up a training reputation and a force to be reckoned with of bringing people through training that then can go and 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 take that out into the world, where we can speed up the and accelerate the time of healing for someone that's been through mind control and SRA, uh, instead of them having to go through years of trying to heal it and having trouble. I mean, I know I've just gone slightly off subject, but it's interesting that in my experience of trying to heal this 5 years ago, 4 years ago, when I was going through that stage, um, it was sort of like unbelievable what these people were going through. That, or they were going into groups together, like of 20 of them meeting up, and then listening to another person, like showing them how to counsel someone who had been under SRA and mind control, and then all of them having to listen in great detail to what that person had been through during a ritual. That's a no-no. That's absolutely not necessary. And I'm telling you, I was gobsmacked. I experienced this personally in listening. I went to 2 groups over 8 weeks, and I was horrified and shocked, and like, why? There's, say for example, there's 15 people that have been through it sat there, and 5 people that haven't been through it but want to help victims of it, survivors of SRA. And they all have to listen to someone going in great detail about a ritual they went through where animals are tortured and they're tortured. And I'm going, really? Like, is this absolutely necessary? No, it isn't. Not one bit. In fact, you're re-looshing the energy. You're re-looping it and re-looshing it and re-traumatizing every person that's listening. So it's not necessary. And I will put a warning out here, right? I'll put a warning out here. If you're a one who researches all of this SRA and mind control, and you keep going into videos of where people talk about being tortured in great detail, I've never ever done that, and I never will. You are traumatizing yourself, and you're taking yourself down a very deep rabbit hole, and I would not recommend it in any way. And I am a survivor of it, but I would not recommend it. No one needs to listen in great detail over and over again what someone went through. You can imagine, your imagination is enough to know how bad it can be, right? And you might have looked it up once, and that's fine, because you get a flavour of exactly what they mean by that. But, you know, you don't need to keep reliving it, uh, or re-looping it. And that's exactly what it does. And that's what they've been doing. So, and that is old fashioned, and that is not of new earth. And we don't need to do it that way. Um, and also, it just counseling, talking over something over and over again does not heal it. It's good to talk about things, and it is cathartic, but those traditional methods, I went for counselling, and I'm sorry to any counsellors that are listening, or whatever, but it didn't do me any good. In fact, I found it very, I don't know, the way they asked questions, it felt very like they were putting me on the back foot, like I was in trouble. It was my fault. Uh, Blah 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 blah. Even though I know it's self-reflection and looking at your weaknesses and vulnerabilities, blah blah blah. But I don't think it does any good for anybody who's a survivor of trauma or abuse of any kind. That is not the way we should be dealt with. Um, and uh, it needs to be speeded up and accelerated on how we heal these things. And of course, I've got the methods to um, accelerate the healing of the brain in a very powerful way, which helps enormously. Plus other things as well, the whole light body actually. But yeah, I know I've deviated a little bit there, but I just wanted to talk about that. That please don't research that too much for the truthers that share all this and whatever. There's only so much you can share about that, and also it traumatizes other people, and also if you get too, as I say, you get too embroiled, you keep looking at all the videos, or listening to people talking about their stories. um it's not a great energy to be bathing in, as you can imagine. Now, we're not gaslighting it, and we're not saying it didn't exist. And uh, that is totally different from when people say, if you look at it, it makes it bigger, which is, I'm sorry, bullshit, right? That is a new age lover and lighter statement, and I do not align with that, and that is rubbish. It does not make it bigger. We look at something and we acknowledge it, we actually alchemize it, and we heal and transmute it. So, there's a difference between looking at something, acknowledging it, maybe drawing attention to it, and then moving on, than keep looking at it and get going into it deeply and then getting traumatized yourself. That's different. We're talking about healing and transmuting it, alchemizing it, acknowledging it, and bringing it out of the shadows and behind the locked doors and in the caves and the family incest cycles and all of that, and we bring it out into the open for it to be alchemized. So I think I'll probably, finish up on that. That's a very important part of this. And I'm very passionate about bringing those new healing protocols, and maybe try and get a conversation going with many that work in this field to sort of bring my take to it of what I feel is needed to change that, like how they work with survivors of it. There we go. So thank you for listening, and thank you for taking the time. So if you've got a project, something that you want to do, or you keep getting that inner knowing, or that idea keeps dropping in and it won't go away, for goodness sake, do something about it. Take the action. Take the action and get it done. Because your soul wants you to deliver that. and get it delivered. It's great fun, and step out your comfort zone and get going. It is so empowering to do that. And I'm sending you my love and support and encouragement to go and do something new this week. Yeah? Do something you've never done before. Go somewhere you've never gone before. Do something that would challenge you normally. I think that's a great sort of like challenge for you that I'm giving you. Do something you wouldn't normally do this week. Come out of your comfort zone. You will reap the rewards for doing it. So I'm sending you all my love. Thank you for listening. Until next time.